Johannesburg, yeah, no, there's a lot of, you need to strengthen yourself a lot mentally if you're going to be living in Joburg. It's a very fast city. Everybody grows fast. So sometimes you find a lot of pressure trying to find yourself and trying to find your niche in growing like everyone else. There's a lot of pressure to succeed, right? Yes, Johannesburg is beautiful, but it's also just a lot of pressure, especially on the youth, including me and everyone else that I know. But outside of it, our traditions, our cultures, the democracy, Rainbow Nation vibe, I think that's the amazing part about it, because you always meet different kinds of people. Even if you haven't traveled overseas, you're bound to meet someone from overseas in Johannesburg, because it does have a reputation. So with content creation, I never expected myself to be in this position, like never. It wasn't really something that I wanted to do, but when you live in Joburg, you do have to find something that you are good at, even if you don't really enjoy doing it. I feel so bad for saying that. But I realized that when I would post on social media, it would get a lot of engagement. So I just decided to try that out, and I also took advantage of my hair. If you've seen my natural hair, trust me, it makes a lot of sense. Achieve the level where brands can now approach me and I don't need to approach them first, which I think it shows a lot of growth in content creation, that people can actually see what I'm trying to achieve when they look at my page. I actually have a small soap business. Content creation isn't the only thing that I do. Remember, Johannesburg, you need to know what you're doing in order to survive, to feed yourself, to clothe yourself, to make yourself look presentable. So I'm studying an LLB. How I navigate it is solely because I study online. I'm in UNISA, which really helps a lot. But also me staying driven. I always think about the kind of woman that I want to be, right? So when I experience a burnout, that's how I motivate myself, because it can get very overwhelming. Like, for instance, I have to write 7 exams this semester. Oh my goodness.
Some of like the common factors or triggers that contribute to the mental health challenges in Johannesburg?
Yeah, the triggers, I'd say that it's more of like this perception that everyone should be doing well. And not only that everyone should be doing well, everyone should be doing well all the time. So if there's sort of like a lag, or some form of lag, or some form of delay, or some form of stumbling block, it's more of like the sense that I'm doomed, I'm done. You see, it's not the perception that it's just for the time being, or it's just I just need to readjust myself. It's more of like it's all doom. So I think that's what is sort of like contributing to that as well. So yeah, and the society that we're in Johannesburg as well, it's more of like if you're not doing anything, or if you're just relaxing, even if it's just for a month or a week, it's that sense that there's something wrong with you. Why would you do that? I mean, even if it's sort of like for self-care, it's more of like, why would you do that? You have no time for that. And I think it's always that now the pressure comes back that I need to be doing something, I need to be doing something. Even in moments where you just gotta be stepping back and sort of like review your life and just restructure your life and stuff like that. So I think that's what I can say. Yes, so I think one of the biggest ones, or the biggest problems that we do have, or I've noticed in Johannesburg, is the normalization of substance use and substance abuse. Because people are feeling so much pressure and they do not have time to relax and do self-care, they turn to sort of like things like drugs or alcohol, for that matter, just as a sense of coping. And another thing, instead of self-care, what other people do is that they'll go out to parties and stuff like that, and they tell themselves that I just need to network and stuff like that. But also in the process, they're harming themselves because they don't have time to reflect on their process and stuff like that. So I think that is one of the unhealthy coping mechanisms that are there. And another one is that the use of their time. I think what's also happening is that people are not sort of like aware that time is a resource, and it's very, very important how you use your time. And one of the things that is very, very important in terms of how you use your time is use the time for yourself, self-care. So I think that is another sort of like unhealthy coping mechanism that they have, is that they do not use their time for self-care. They do not have allocate time to self-care.
My personal life is here. Like, this is where I live. This is where my life is. Like, this is what I do every day. Like, from morning till late. All I do, I don't get to go out or anything. Like, I'm always here. It's depressing, honestly. Like, it's emotional breaking. It needs somebody who's strong emotionally and everything. Sometimes I do have my mental breakdowns whereby I'm led to drink. Like, it keeps me going and to stabilize my mind, just to ignore the facts that I'm burdened with the business.
Johannesburg, they care more about the work than being a human, if I could say it like that. So in Cape Town, it was quite easy to meet people, to work with people. And then the shocking thing for me about Cape Town was when I got there, I was on this adrenaline rush, like I am in Johannesburg, let's go, 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 where they needed to tell me, whoa, stop for a second. We're gonna take this very slow. We're gonna do this today, we're gonna do that tomorrow. You can go for a hike this morning. You know what, tonight let's go out and drink wine. And I was like, what? You have time for wine? Or you have time for a hike? And I think when I started going into just taking care of myself, it was so much easier, because then when I get onto a production, especially in Cape Town, I would go for a hike in the morning. I'd feel so good. So when I see my crew, it's like, went for the best hike. We're not talking about the film, we are talking about our own lives, which makes it easier for us to work with people. And then it's like, oh, you know what, I'm not tired of you, let's go have a beer afterwards, or let's go have a glass of wine afterwards. And it makes it feel more like a community, whereas in Johannesburg it makes it feel more like work. So there's a big difference between the two. I can't say that all productions in Cape Town are like that. I think the stress level is exactly the same. However, I think learning how to balance that stress is much different. Success in South Africa is what you have and what you can show off, whereas overseas, success is, are you happy? That is not necessarily in South Africa the same way. We believe materialistical things is what's going to make us happy. And even if you have those materialistical things, which is why I moved overseas, I had it all, and it wasn't fulfilling what I needed. I wasn't really happy. I had a car, I had a house, I had a future plan with someone, and I had the perfect job, and yet I was missing something. And then I go overseas, and the things that I thought was going to make me happy, I left it all behind, and I was the happiest I could have ever been. And that's why I think we get this concept of materialistical things is what makes us happy, when in actual fact, it's people, it's interactions, it's the moments that you experience, the things that you do physically, the memories. Memories, that's the happiness, not materialistical things.